State investigators have combed through 14 prisons and punished 70 inmates, all because of what the Channel 4 I-Team caught them doing.
Prisoners posting on Facebook using cell phones they aren't supposed to have, sharing pictures and videos that make it appear they're having a really good time in prison. Chief investigative reporter Jeremy Finley is at the big board with more on what he's found.
Yeah, some of the highlights or lowlights, as you might see it, that we showed you last night. Take a look. Here are some inmates setting a shirt on fire, posting that on Facebook. Here's another inmate saying that he is high on marijuana, posting it on Facebook. Another inmate showing $200. He's not supposed to have that, again, showing it on Facebook. But honestly, you haven't seen anything yet because some of the inmates posted their phone numbers and we decided to call them to see if they'd go through. And we've obtained even more photos and they show convicted murderers living it up and showing it off to the world.
We're not going to observe Miss Sadler lying on her back. Her head was bloodied.
When Ivan Marino was convicted of strangling and murdering her grandmother, Michelle Elliott thought his days of enjoying life were over.
Yeah, when I saw him in court, I figured I'd never have to see him again.
Then the Channel 4 I-Team showed her this, Marino's Facebook page. That's right, an inmate's Facebook page. Despite being behind bars, he's posting updates, commenting on pictures, even showing himself playing the guitar. His profile picture taken inside his jail cell.
My eyes started watering, I started shaking. I just couldn't believe I could see him again.
Marino is among the more than 100 Tennessee inmates the Channel 4 I-Team found on Facebook, operating their own social media pages, posting video, showing pictures, claiming they're using drugs, smoking, showing it off, all through using contraband smartphones. Convicted murderers, rapists, and other violent offenders enjoying all the perks of social media, including convicted murderer Brandon White, openly showing off two things you can never have in prison, his phone and his cash, $200.
That's not punishment. That is not any kind of a punishment. It's just like being out on the outside. It's still freedom for them.
White was convicted in the murder of Linda Wright's son.
We can never communicate again, and he has access to being able to communicate with the outside world.
And there was no hiding the fact they had phones. White and several other inmates posted their phone numbers. So we decided to call them, including White. Here's the number he posted. Is this Brandon? We tried to call him back, but no one answered. The rest of our calls either went to voicemails or the phones weren't in service.
Menace to society has use of social media, and that's just wrong.
These victims' families say when the criminals were sentenced, they never imagined them watching TV or burying themselves in junk food. Is this too extravagant for a guy to have who's behind bars?
But it's obvious the inmate is trying to be flagrant and showing us all this property and all this commissary. Obviously, it's an issue.
We asked the Tennessee Department of Correction how all of this can be happening while correctional officers are watching.
It's not an issue of not enough correctional officers. It's an issue of a nationwide problem that we're facing with cell phones and the struggle to stay on top of it.
Sometimes the inmates on Facebook even surprise their own friends and family with their freedom. We found several posts with people writing on inmates' Facebook walls, "How are you locked up?" and on Facebook.
Every Department of Correction struggles with contraband. It's something that I'm not proud of, but it's a reality.
I think my first question would be, how is this happening?
Obviously, someone is bringing the phones in. The state's own records show in a year's time, only one person, Jeanette Elliott, who was visiting an inmate at Northeast Correctional Complex, has been busted for trying to bring a cell phone into a prison. But as a result of our investigation, more than 50 phones were found. As soon as the Channel 4 I-Team brought our findings to the state, they immediately launched investigations in 14 prisons across the state, finding 53 cell phones, drugs, and a deadly weapon. 70 inmates now face disciplinary actions for having Facebook pages, and their Facebook pages now shut down. Both Marino and White's pages are now gone. Here's the thing, we've still been checking on Facebook and we continue to find more inmates with more Facebook pages. As for the TVs, inmates can have TVs, but they have to pay for them. They can also buy snacks, but they're not supposed to have that many like we've just shown you. We also reached out to Facebook for comment on that. They did not return our calls. Guys, we will continue to investigate this one.
Jeremy, thank you.